to order. Roll call, please.
Chairwoman Alvarado.
Here.
Mr. Venero.
Here.
Mr. Banda.
Here.
Mr. Giordano. Is not present. Mr. Graziano is not present. Ms. Swan.
Here.
Mr. Guyan.
Here.
Mr. Pizzi.
Here.
Mr. Zangari.
Here.
Mr. Jimenez is not here. Mr. Leon is not here. Mr. Harris.
Here.
And Mr. Marinello.
Mr. Marinello is not here. Talking to Bacani.
Mr. Jimenez is here.
Is he staying? Okay. We'll let the record reflect that Mr. Jimenez is here. If anything changes, we'll announce it.
All right, do you need spelling or?
Yes, please.
Sure. B as in boy, A. P as in Peter, I-N-E-E-D-U. My last name is B as in boy, I-K-K-A-N-I.
Thank you.
All right, would everyone stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine notice, please.
The meeting has been advertised according to sunshine law.
Are there any communications? I don't believe so. I don't have any comments. Approval of minutes from December 11, 2025. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Chairwoman Alvarado.
Yes.
Mr. Venero.
Take no part.
Mr. Banda.
Yes.
Mr. Graziano. Let the record reflect that Mr. Graziano.
I'm sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
No, I'll stand, I'm good. Yeah.
Mr. Graziano, do you want to vote for the December 11, 2025 minutes?
I wasn't.
No part, okay. Ms. Guaman.
Yes.
Mr. Guyan.
Yes.
Mr. Zangari.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, our next is a bill list for January 8th, 2026. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Chairwoman Alvarado.
Yes.
Mr. Venero.
Yes.
Mr. Banda.
Yes.
Mr. Graziano.
No part.
Ms. Swan.
Yes.
Mr. Guyan.
Yes.
And Mr. Zangari.
Yes.
You don't want to call me?
Yes.
It's my first meeting back in a while. You're not
Crossing
on
it
my
out.
list. Mr. Pizzi for the bill list. I'm so sorry.
All right. Resolutions to be memorialized, that we will not hear that this evening. It will be at the next meeting. The applications before the board, PB 2520, which is Rose-Belleville Limited Partnership. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
All right, proceed.
Diana McGovern from the law firm of National Canal on behalf of the applicant, Rose-Belleville. We're here.
Your microphone for her?
You want to, does she mind if you stand here?
Yeah, that's fine. The usual microphone is out of commission. So
Okay.
Sorry.
Can I see a little like order of this? Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's what we have.
It's my height. Okay, that's good, thank you. We are here for a site plan, preliminary and final site plan for 519 Washington Avenue, block 8203, lot 19 and 20. This is in the BG zone. We are requesting preliminary and final site plan, as I stated. There is no subdivision. I think that might have been indicated in the zoning official's letter. However, what we're using is a part of an existing building. We're not subdividing the lot. That wasn't the request. This is an application for a laundromat tenant, which is a permitted use in the zone. The tenant is seeking to use 7,000 square feet of the building, which under the ordinance requires a site plan approval for rehabilitation of 2,500 square feet or more of the building. So that's why we are here for the site plan. We don't have any, we did not request any variances in our application, but when we get to the architect, with respect to the sign, we will be asking the board for some consideration, although we have options. So that will need to be discussed. With respect to that, we are not expanding the existing building. So I have 3 witnesses tonight. The property owner, Edward Rosenblum, he's the managing partner of that limited partnership. Art Michaels, who is our architect and planner, and Michael Upschman is our engineer. And if I could, I will call my first witness. Mr. Rosenblum?
I have a question to ask of the attorney and the board before you start the regular testimony. Can I just ask, just a procedural question?
Procedural question, all right.
Well, there's an inconsistency in 2 documents I just want to bring to your attention.
All right, we're gonna wait then.
Well, before you start, the inconsistency is that in the legal notice published, the address given is 519, but in the agenda,
It's 507.
507, so could you just, for the record,
Yes,
tell everyone
that
what
was
is,
gonna be my question for
all
him.
right, what the real address is?
Yes.
There are dueling addresses, thank you.
501 is AFC. It ranges from 501 to 519, the 3 buildings.
There's 3 buildings on the site. Do you want to swear him in and I can go through that? So it's under oath.
Yeah.
Sir, please raise your, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Edward Rosenblum, my home address is 237 South Washington Drive, Sarasota, Florida.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just begin with, what is your relationship to Rose-Belleville Limited Partnership?
I am the president of the general partner, my development, and the manager of the center.
Now, there is a question about the address. Could you explain what the difference is with the address?
Yeah, we have 3 individual buildings on the site. The new AFC walk-in clinic is 501 Washington. The Sports Med, which is another new tenant, is 505. I think AutoZone, if I'm correct, is 515 or something like that, I don't remember. And CVS is 519. So those are the addresses individually.
Thank you for that clarification.
All right, but the block is 8203 and the lots are 19 and 20. Okay. Now, how long has Rose-Belleville owned this site?
Well, you can see by my age, it's been a long time. The center was built in 1995, 30 years ago. Actually, CVS's opening was May of 1995. At that time, we did a complete renovation on one of the buildings. We erected the new building in the center, and we did another massive renovation on the CVS building, adding at least 3,000 square feet to it. The center previously was Meade Ford. It was an automobile dealership for many, many years. And the CVS building was the repair shop and showroom. There was no building in the middle. And the AFC walk-in clinic was the parts department. That's the history. And we did quite a bit of renovation work to build this center. By the way, it did win the award of Best Project in Essex County that year. So I was very proud of that.
So now we've described the current tenants. The new tenant, where would that be going?
The new tenant is, the one that we've signed a lease with is going into the CVS building in the last portion, the deeper portion at the rear of the building.
And can you tell the board the hours of operation for the proposed laundromat?
Well, he is my tenant in another shopping center I have, so he's a fabulous operator, very clean and beautiful, beautiful laundromats. He's got about 8 of them now. And he, I believe, has his last washing machine open for use at about 11 o'clock, but there's a 2-hour time. If you're in there by 11, your machine has got clothing in it. Their closing, I think, is officially at 1 in the morning. So that's what I think his hours are in Garfield.
And the opening time?
He's open early at 7 in the morning or 6:30. I don't recall people on the way to work, want to do it and get it done before 9.
One of the items that was pointed out by the board engineer and by Mr. Harretts in his report dated December 10th was a suggestion that the employees of the laundromat park in the rear. Do you foresee any problem with that, and would that be fine with you as a condition?
I have no objection to that.
I guess the square footage of the space for the new tenant, we'll leave that to the architect or the engineer. Do you have anything in design yet for that remaining part of the building? Nothing has been signed up, correct?
We've designed it as retail space, and it can be tailored to any tenant that we put in there for that use.
And if the board were to grant this site plan approval, would you continue to retain ownership of the building?
Yes, of the whole center.
All right. Now, I know you've done some upgrades to the property in very recent time. Could you tell the board, the pylon sign, what went on with that?
Well, that just was finished. It's been in the works for 3 years. It was held up because of the cancellation of the lease by CVS. CVS canceled the lease 2.5 years ago and said, we're closing, and went dark. But the lease still had 2.5 years to go, and the lease doesn't end until the end of this month. So CVS is still a tenant in that property, in that building. So we were in a situation where, well, okay, who's going in, what's happening? We didn't have Sports Med in. We used to have Supercuts there, the haircut place, and they closed 2 or 3 years ago, and we were unable to rent the space. So I had 2 vacancies, and you can understand the situation. Didn't want to make commitments with the sign or anything else until we knew where we were going. We did do the Sports Med space. Let me go back to the first space. The AFC walk-in clinic was done 2 years ago. And we had to get all kinds of approvals from zoning for a new handicap ramp for the AFC space. You probably have seen it. It's a long ramp. It's very circular. And the space was 100% renovated. Everything was done. New roof, new HVAC, everything. It's brand new. So that building used to be Quick Check fast food store. They were there for many years too, as I said, 20-some odd years. Then we have the replacement for the Supercuts haircut place, which is Sports Med. That's a large chain of physical therapy operations, over 50 stores. And we're very happy to have a very credible tenant like that in the space. And we love the medical uses, as every landlord does in a small center today, because it's pretty much immune from the attack of the internet and Amazons and all of that. AutoZone has been there since 2010. Mr. Harretts was involved very deeply in that, and site plan approval for that. There was a different set of rules at that time, parking requirements and everything else. We did a lot of work in connection with AutoZone going in, and they are the #1 auto parts chain in the United States, head and shoulders above everybody else. There are issues with AutoZones. I'm aware of them. I have 2 of them as tenants. People do things in the parking lot they're not supposed to do, oil changes and things like that. AutoZone has been great about remedying those issues. Once we pointed out we're doing striping in the parking lot or whatever, we want these areas scraped and cleaned and repaved, whatever you need to do, they will take care of it. Again, AutoZone, if you've looked at the building, if you've been there recently, it looks like it's discolored in spaces. They are repainting the whole building. And at that point, all of the buildings in the shopping center will be like new, because this CVS project is going to involve a complete redo on the exterior and interior of that building. It'll be finished like new. The AutoZone is going to be repainted. It looks pretty good already. And Sports Med was already done and it's finished. AFC is brand new. As I said, painted, refinished outside. Everything's going to be new. So I'm very happy about, the way the center is progressing right now.
Okay, and you replaced the fence, there's a whole brand-new fence around it, correct?
Yes,
And you have committed to restriping the parking lot?
we're definitely going to do that.
And any of the areas of the sidewalk that need to be fixed, you'll be fixing those?
Yes,
Okay,
we
thank you.
will.
I think that's all the questions I have. I'm sure the board may have some questions.
I have a particular, you say you're very proud, and I'm very happy that you're upgrading your buildings, but in the meantime, it's very much in disrepair look. I mean, we have graffiti, the fence, just recently, the fence is horrible. You look at it, and it looks terrible.
No, the fence is new, brand new.
When
We did
you-
380
When was it
feet
installed?
Oh, it's,
a month ago, month and a half.
it's lovely now.
Those
We have a-
pictures
we
are
have a
from
front-
December 11th.
It's brand new.
Oh, my.
I don't know when they installed the
December
fence.
11?
I don't know.
It was done in the beginning of December, it was finished, I think, or maybe 2 weeks into December. But it was committed a long time ago. We knew the fence had to be replaced.
Because, I mean, with the garbage, it's, the whole lot is terrible. Why did you have to wait to this point to want to clean it up? And if you weren't lucky enough to get that tenant, would it just ran down more and more with the graffiti and the dirt?
I don't know about graffiti, I don't know where there's graffiti on the
I
building.
can show you on the picture.
I have photographs of the current state. I don't know if you need to mark them for identification, or, but this is a brand-new fence,
There you go.
and...
I don't think that's, where is it? On the back of the building?
Again, all those pictures were from December 11th. The night pictures were from yesterday.
He did say the entire property was going to be repainted.
Is that behind the auto
It's gonna
zone,
be
is
what?
that completely going to be repainted? The
Yes.
whole
Yeah,
building is
no,
being
the-
Yeah,
Well, why did it
that's,
have
listen,
to
that's
wait
what we're
to
looking
this
for. We're
point?
just looking for
But
it, yeah.
the autos,
It's
But
not
that-
showing, he's not showing the township that he cares about us. All you're doing is worrying about your buildings. In the meantime, it looks dirty, it looks like, it's horrible.
we were out there today, it didn't look dirty at all.
No, and
I'm-
he handed up pictures.
I'll take a
You
look at that,
know, I
'cause I
had,
haven't seen it
listen,
today.
there have been changes. I had one landscaping company who did all my snow removal and did my cleanups and all of the landscaping under one roof, okay? He had cancer 2 years ago
I'm sorry
and
about
no
that.
longer could do the work for me. We had an upheaval. It's very hard to find a good company that does those three things under one roof. It's not neglect on my part. We were thrown a curveball by what happened, and I did my best. He recommended before he left that you use these people, XYZ, I won't name them, and we had horrible problems with overcharges, with snow removal, double what it was before, taking advantage, and the tenants pay for this. I have to look out for them. So that happened, I had to get rid of them, and we hired a new company in October. There was slips between the cup and the lip with this new company in terms of debris removal on the lot. I'm on top of it, he is working on it, he's doing a good job now, and the snow removal has been superb so far, and this is a good company I'm dealing with. But again, we just started in October. If I have to change again, I'll do it. It's going to be the right people. I will say this, though. I've got 3 centers here in this area, one in North Arlington, one in Garfield, and here. This is the worst. Belleville is the worst town in I'm not knocking anybody here, in terms of throwing paper and debris in the parking lot. It happens so frequently that even if they're coming twice a week, you'll find this stuff on the property. I don't know if it's the AutoZone customers, I don't know who it is, but they just don't seem to care about it. So we have a battle with that, and we've had an ongoing battle. But I don't want you to think it's because I don't care. I do. I really do. And I'm going to make it right, whatever it takes. But finding the right contractor to do this work, oh boy, I'll tell you, it's not easy. I found 2 good ones. They said, we're not taking on any more business. We can't help you. And these people really have good reputations. So I hope these people work out, the ones I have now.
Well, I'm happy to see the fence.
Yeah, as soon as
Everybody
my
else
client,
wants
something is brought to his attention, he does respond immediately. But we had some difficulty, he did have some difficulties in that is.
If you take a look at, and I know I'm being picky at this point, the CVS, the lights are off, so it looks abandoned.
The CVS what?
the lights.
The sconce lights
Yeah, the
across the whole
sconce.
front of all the buildings, they don't work. Or maybe they're off, I don't
Or
know.
they're hanging off. It looks deteriorated, so it brings in people where they say, well, I can fix my car here. I can throw the garbage here, it doesn't matter.
I can tell you a little bit about the history of CVS. You know, if you check your own health department records, that CVS was shut down by your health department for violations of the health code. I'm talking about rats. There was whatchamacallit on the walls.
So,
And they had buckets in the aisles with water pouring in when it rained. Very bad management, and CVS did nothing about it until the whole place was shut down. It was shut down for 3 months. They let that store go downhill. That's something I don't have much control over when a big national tenant like that does that, and they're in the health business. It was crazy.
but your experience with the laundromat that's proposed to be the tenant here has been good, right?
I think he's the best in the state of New Jersey. It's Assemblyman Larry Weinstein who owns this company. And unlike most of the laundromat companies, these guys start laundromat businesses and then flip them 2 years later and cash in and make the profit and go. Larry keeps them, and that's his business. And if you see his other laundromats, you'd be very proud to have them in your town. Beautiful, beautiful interiors and exteriors.
And
And
when
a
you see
fanatic
our
about
plans,
maintenance.
you'll see that.
Who's in charge of your building maintenance?
I'm sorry?
Who's in charge of the building maintenance? Like, is it your tenants or is it you as the owner?
I'm in charge of the building maintenance. The tenants take care of the interior of all of the buildings
So I believe the CVS had an issue with the roof leak. That's why they had those buckets there.
because they didn't maintain the roof.
The roof,
They spent $300,000.
so you just said you maintain the building,
No,
the outdoor.
All of these tenants maintain all of their spaces, triple net.
Triple net
everything.
lease for that.
Triple net leases. So I don't have any responsibility other than to call them to account when they don't take care of their job, which I did with CVS, but it was a battle where they were going to either renew or not renew the lease. You got to understand, as a landlord with a national tenant like CVS, do you really push them to the wall over this issue of the shutdown and everything and the roof leak? They're taking care of it, and you know either you're going to get a renewal another 5 years or not. You have to walk on eggshells. That's just the real world. So I didn't push them as hard as I could have legally. But now, they put a new roof on the premises. They've redone the whole interior. They fixed up all of the leaks. The store was beautiful, and the new manager told me the store was making money. The pharmacy department was a disaster. If you went on Google and looked, everybody ranked it as 1 or 2 the most. Can't get a pharmacist. They close for 2 hours. I can't get my prescriptions. I mean, this is what happened with CVS. It's terrible. But they're gone. Their lease ends this month.
Okay, my question was just, I wanted to see who took care of the building, whether it was you or
They-
whether it was the tenant.
they
Okay,
did.
that was the question.
100% all of the tenants.
Councilman?
I have a question. So if this all goes through and things are upgraded accordingly like you're saying, if the tenant, if we go across the building where we see lights out, we see garbage, we see these things, what is the I don't know who the question is to, what is the process and the timeframes for that to be taken care of before it gets to you to remedy?
Here's the situation with garbage. There are dumpsters.
In general, but I'm saying,
There
it
are
could be,
dumpster enclosures in the back.
Yes.
Everybody has their own dumpster. They have to contract with the garbage removal company in this area who has the franchise.
so is that.
Everybody
So
does.
is that.
I don't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
It's direct tenant contracts with the garbage. That's for the dumpster areas.
Right.
Now, debris in the lot and on the grass and people throwing stuff, that's something else. They don't have an obligation unless their garbage pails are overflowing and people, you know.
Okay, but that's one case.
So we
What about-
dedicate some nicer bins to the property so that maybe they'll have somewhere to throw the garbage instead of on the ground?
That's-
Landscaping as well?
Extra bin, you know, I can push a tenant for that for sure. The ones who generate the garbage right now, only one. It's not AFC and it's not sports.
It's
It's AutoZone.
AutoZone.
And I was out there this evening, okay? They have one garbage bin out there. It was right to the top overflowing.
Yeah.
I'll get another one.
So-
Something, it's not a plastic bin, like something that's nice for the first strip mall, like you wanna make the site.
Attractive concrete bin with a plastic
Yeah,
top on
I
it.
mean, we just did the Walgreens down the block, we did that a couple of years ago, right? And that owner, he invested in the town, he invested in the site. All we're really asking is, you know, you do the same thing as he did,
So
and
would you, is
that matters to us.
the trash container on the Walgreens site something that we should, is that something that you'd
Well,
like
I
us to?
think from the trash container to
Okay.
fixing any of the sidewalks or the,
Yep,
or,
providing-
you know, a new top coat on the parking lot and striping, new
Definitely
landscaping.
new striping.
A lot of the landscaping is dead, especially along the back.
We're definitely gonna
Overrun.
restripe the lot, and the areas where AutoZone's customers have abused the pavement, they are gonna come in and pay for repaving or whatever's necessary, scraping and sealing it again.
That would be
They
great.
will do that, and there are only 2 areas where that occurred. We did do a whole new parking lot within, I guess it was 6 or 7 years ago. So the whole lot was redone, repaved at a cost of over $50,000-$60,000. It's not like we've been neglecting it. Yes, the fence in the back, it started to cave, the landscaping was growing back there. I explained what happened with our landscaper, and we had some losers in there who didn't mind the store. So what we've done is cleaned all the landscaping growth, which were vines and things like that, which the health department didn't like, by the way. They said it attracts certain vermin, I don't remember which, rats. It's all gone, it's all cleaned up, brand new fence, 380 feet of it.
So that was my question, was part of my question is, if there's a need to fix something that's broken, lighting, fencing, stuff, and we see that, it goes to the code department, correct?
Yes, and that would be put on the owner.
Then it gets put, does it get put on the owner or the
We don't
person?
go after the tenant, we go after the owner.
Okay, that was my
We do.
question. Oh,
Yeah,
that-
because
that's-
I had that with CVS.
That's-
They came after me.
Okay, and is there any security around that buildings, your buildings there for any way, shape, or form? I mean, with today, you know,
Right now, there's an alarm system in the CVS store.
cameras, anything to, cameras for
No, we
security?
don't have those, and that's something we've been looking at. I get 2 points of view on that. Some say it doesn't do any good at all. Others say, hey, it can't hurt, put cameras back there with the ring lights or whatever. We can do that, but look, once we get the new tenants in the CVS building, that's the area behind the CVS building where we've had problems since they closed the store.
Right, but I'm saying with the time, because I'm going to go into the timeframes, right? Because I don't even know if those timeframes based on our ordinance are in that timeframe, but depending on the hours, early or late, it can become people coming in and out. You have, there's risk, right? No matter, there's risk all over. So how can we mitigate that? Because we don't want, no one wants anybody hurt, harmed, or people.
Well, look,
Where they shouldn't be.
another upgrade I did to the parking lot was to replace all of the lighting in the center about 5 years ago with new LED lighting on all of the posts and all of the, what do you call the lights on the side of the building? The sconces. You know, the little slim.
The sconces all on the side of the
Well,
building.
the sconces are a different story. That's,
Are we gonna
Art
upgrade that
Michael's
too,
will
or?
address that, whether we keep
Yeah, the
them.
architect will be talking about the lighting.
I'm talking about the
upgrade.
kinds of lights which are sort of neon
Like
on
the
the side of the
like
building.
this, okay.
Art, what do we call those lights? The neon lights above, along the
I
wall.
think
on
that
CVS.
the architect and the engineer will handle a lot of these details.
Yeah, can we use the architect?
The only
I actually
thing
just
is-
have one question though, before we move on.
He's calling them accent lights, but you know, those are all new.
So,
Okay, one more
and
so
LED.
in your bank of pictures that you actually sent up here to the board, you have one with a dispensary on it,
With what?
with the marijuana dispensary?
The new.
The new building right next to
tire
you guys,
door.
right next to you.
Right, it's not.
As you see, they have all brand new streetscape. Can you continue that all the way down the street?
Listen, the streetscape is an issue. Tom Harris and I went at each other's throats over this with the AutoZone. We put in trees all along the street, the landscaped area on this side, next closest to the street, from CVS all the way down. And the trees, unfortunately, grew very rapidly. They were aggressive growth trees, to the point where you couldn't see the buildings. So AutoZone was not visible, neither was Supercuts. we ended up having to do something about it, and I think it was the zoning officer.
I'm more talking about the sidewalks actually going down from the dispensary all the way down the
Oh,
street.
the sidewalks we're gonna repair. There are
And
areas
if you
that
look
need.
at what we did,
We've been asking all the new businesses,
Yeah,
from
all
that
the-
dispensary to the food depot, we've been asking everybody to kind
and
of
if you look,
upgrade, and
You mean ripping out the entire sidewalk?
that's what we've asked
no.
everybody to do.
That's a really long area of
Oh,
sidewalk.
we have 300.
That's-
That's a fortune.
that's what we've been asking everyone to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're in good shape, the sidewalks. There's nothing there in the way of a hazard. Remember, we did the AFC, and the zoning office made us replace a portion of sidewalk in front of AFC, but not the whole sidewalk, and they could have forced us, according to you, they could have forced us to replace it all the way back. They didn't. This was 2 years ago, so we've been around the block.
And even at the food depot, they have a really nice decorative fence in front, which is something like, I think you should consider in front of your property, which would actually look really nice.
A fence in front of the property? I don't think so. I would disagree respectfully with you.
what, a fence
Tom, what do you
along the
think?
building?
On the front, no, right
I
along the
thought so.
sidewalk?
Like at the food depot.
Can we have one person at a time? We have someone taking notes here.
I would like to see a streetscape that the cannabis dispensary put in, continue down at
Exactly.
Little Street. And the parking lot, is basically the auto zone that, I don't know if they changed oil, but there's huge oil stains
Yeah, I agree with you.
all around that building.
We're gonna
Because
take,
the auto zone. They'll take care of that,
absolutely. AutoZone will pay for it.
but I think you should.
So I try to.
We have to do it every 5 years with
This-
them.
When,
It just keeps
Mr.
recurring.
Harretts, what you're talking about is the sidewalk or on the interior?
No, the
No.
pavement's on the interior, the sidewalk is along Washington Ave. If you go to the dispensary, it looks really nice, if you look at the old Walgreens, it looks really, I mean, it really.
The sidewalk you're talking about?
Yes, the streetscaping looks really,
And they're the right type of tree too, it's a different.
there's different type of tree also.
There's even a dead tree on the property too.
The what?
There's a dead tree.
I know, there's dead trees on
Physical therapist. So trees aren't part of really necessary, I think.
Trees on a sidewalk tend to be a problem because they eventually raise the sidewalk and then somebody trips on them. And
It's our downtown, we've been putting it all across the downtown.
Well, in 20 years, you're going to see the litigation that's going to be filed because people trip on the sidewalk.
When
when
you
they're-
look at dead and buried.
Right, when the roots lift them up. It's just- I mean, yes, they look lovely, but then they cause other problems. it- It's a huge expense now.
We've been literally making everybody that does anything do it.
Pat, may I ask?
Yes.
Do we have, Kim,
The sidewalks there, it's pretty good. The streetscape, I mean, there we can do it.
Okay.
There
And we offer as a compromise because we're here for that CVS building. And the sidewalk that runs along the front of, I'm calling it CVS, but hopefully it'll be something else, like the laundromat and something else in the future. But along that strip up to the driveway entrance, if we could do that streetscape for that section and then just repair the other sidewalk because this is a very large lot. And this is a very big expense at this point in time for really what we're looking for as a project just for up in that section.
How about past the driveway?
Well,
Not up into, right past the driveway.
right through the driveway to the end of the driveway?
Up to the lamp post.
There's
Up.
some room for that.
What they're talking about is
Here,
This is Washington Ave.
this is the area where we have grass.
Understood. They want to rip out the sidewalk.
Rip the sidewalk?
Yes. So here's your driveway in.
That's not the
This is
driveway.
right,
The
this,
next
yeah.
one.
Ripping this out up until, and this is the driveway through here, and doing the streetscape that matches, is the cannabis?
Yes.
Matching that, so whatever little trees and that sort of, so it would be that limited section.
Yeah, this would be the grass area with the trees that float somewhere else. I don't follow.
Where,
this.
I don't know the
Yes.
cannabis place off the top.
We could do some landscaping there and it would not interfere with
Could we do
signage.
that as an
Or
offer,
visibility.
a
All right, so
compromise?
what are we saying now?
This area?
No, no.
We want
What he's
landscaping
talking
and the
about
sidewalk.
is, let me just point this out.
what point to what point?
Or to take the streetscaping and take it to about here.
Up to the, I would prefer up to the lamp post, it would make it
That
easier.
would not
Where's
obstruct
the
the
lamp
view
post?
of
I
visibility.
can give you the
Yeah,
details.
something like that. It's only
For
for
the
more.
We have grass there now, there's nothing more than grass all along.
It'll be
That's-
stamped concrete.
No, Tom,
Oh, you want the grass there?
it should be
Oh, for
landscape.
fa-
That's not should be
foundation.
landscape, it doesn't have to do with stamped concrete, just the other
This is
side.
next door.
It's all-
Like the Food Depot. They didn't do stamped right on there by the park.
We want the entire front.
The entire front is food landscape.
Yes, so we can do
So
that up to the lamp post,
the
thank
parking
you.
strip and the sidewalk, the trees.
All right.
I can give you the details.
We could do something in this area.
Yeah.
It wouldn't obstruct any visibility on the buildings
You know,
and
and it would be
signage.
nice for you to get a new tenant in there, they would have the nice sidewalk in front.
We're working on that, and
Yeah.
I don't want to,
Jinx it,
you know,
I get it.
you mentioned what you have cooking,
Yeah.
and you always put the kiss of death on it.
So if that would,
But it's
if
someone
that
who
would,
will like it.
if that would be acceptable to the board, we would accept that as a condition, that section, because we're only here for that
And you would
sentence.
repair any other sidewalk?
And the
We're
rest,
going to repair sidewalks,
Sidewalk,
there are
grass
crack
space,
portions and
the
holes.
landscaping,
We're going to fix all of that, replace those sections.
The entire landscape has to be cleaned, not only for that section.
So if we're talking about the sidewalk, but the landscape is
One
all
place
about.
at a
That's
time,
not-
please.
I'm sorry, I thought, I thought what we were discussing was the sidewalk and the landscaping for that one section, and now I'm hearing some board members say, and landscaping for the entire area, and I'm
The whole
not
site needs to
following.
be landscaped. That's not an argument. I think the landscaping, I'm gonna separate the sidewalk from the landscaping. The site itself needs to be landscaped.
And
And
that
I think we already
landscaping
talked about
would
agreeing.
be in the green area that's already here.
That's, yeah,
Okay, but not
That's
replacing the sidewalk, that's more.
right.
Can we do something with lower shrubs that don't go 7 feet tall, which are attractive, green?
Of course.
Along that landscaping, yes, but our street
Yeah,
trees.
even in here, I have no
Yeah,
objection to
along
doing
that,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Even the fencing he was talking about, that was 3-foot fencing. It was just a decorative thing with landscaping around
So
it.
just to be clear, because I want you to understand it, it would be the complete renovation of the sidewalk in terms of the landscape plan, with the streetscape plan and landscaping up to the light pole. And then the continuation of landscaping, that would be your choice of lower landscaping. You'd
Yeah.
have to work, do you have a township forester or somebody that
I can
you
give
don't?
you a recommendation.
We'll work with the township, with
Well,
you to do.
Clarify what you mean by sidewalk here, though. I thought we were talking landscaping. The green areas are grass, okay?
This is what.
No, that's
So we have a
No, it would be-
sidewalk here, that's not sidewalk. Sidewalk is out here and it's in good shape.
No, they're talking about matching the sidewalk on the other side, so it would be removing the sidewalk to the design that's been going on throughout the town. So they're asking you to remove the sidewalk from here to here. They started off wanting you to do
You mean
everything.
out here, this sidewalk?
Yes, from here to here.
And
So
replace it with,
replace it with the design that's, or do you have any kind of
you
a?
mean for the cannabis store next
Yes.
door?
Yes.
That's a paved area, concrete paved area?
Yes.
Yeah.
As I recall it, there's no landscaping, it's all paved.
Oh,
The
that-
landscaping is on the sides, right?
That has the stamped concrete, so stamped concrete section goes against the building, that's where you would do any type of outdoor eatery, like if you have a restaurant and you wanna have outdoor seating, it would go in that area. That's why you have that.
All right, so the
But
sidewalk.
for the rest of it, yeah.
For this green
That's
strip here where you have,
landscaping.
that's where they want you to do some landscaping of your
Yes,
choice.
Yes.
Okay.
All the green on that, it's that thing, you saw,
Wherever there's
everywhere there's
green.
green, that all needs to
And
be
the back's
And
what
have-
you're saying.
Sorry,
He's saying
The green, you have, that's all the green on your chart there, right? That's all landscaped areas, right?
it is,
So you're gonna be doing landscaping for all of that, right?
yeah, we'll put in lower shrubs.
Yeah, like that.
If I may, I don't think it's being clearly
Mhm.
communicated. When you say green, Brian, are you talking about all green?
No,
Brian,
Just the-
Brian, are you talking about all green?
no, that's at the rear.
I know, I'm just asking, because you said green.
So, yeah, I think from what she's saying, from here to here is the new sidewalk streetscaping.
And that would be this as well.
That's
Sidewalk along the street, you want
to match, yes,
the
like that.
cannabis store.
This right here, this landscaping here will be a stamped concrete, and if you get a tenant,
This
they would be allowed.
Did you say, because it's grass now.
This would be a stamped concrete, so if you say you got a restaurant, you would be allowed to have outdoor seating along there.
Yeah,
And they would love that.
we understand.
Yeah.
So, part you want to come up with, I just want you to understand exactly.
The rest of it.
Okay, Patty, it's getting out of control.
All right, I'm sorry.
You know what,
All right,
I'm gonna make
fine.
another witness
May I
coming
make a
up to talk.
suggestion?
I'm
That
gonna
Mr.
take a
Banda-
5-minute recess,
Okay.
Let them negotiate it
and
on the record.
you can figure out where exactly this is going.
Understood, but you're back to the reporter, yeah.
So let's have the architect and you three agree to, I
Water,
understand.
and I'll just do one more reminder of, please, one person at a time, I will get to everyone.
Okay, just to summarize the break, what we worked out, and I think that the board probably wants to mark this as an exhibit, maybe we do A1.
Stand a little closer. So you can speak.
Who marks it? Do you mark that or can I?
Patricia Marcus.
You can mark it on the, yes.
Thank you. Okay. Now, as depicted on A1, just so everybody is clear, my client agrees to repave according to the streetscape design of the town from the border, I guess this is the north border at the cannabis store, along down to the light post. The property, the part of it that runs along the actual building that's being refurbished will be all concrete. When we get past the driveway entrance, there is some greenery, and from, as shown on the plans here that are green, we will put in landscaping of my client's choosing, low shrubs that will be maintained by him going forward. I think that is acceptable to the board, I'm hoping, as a condition?
It is.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Veneer?
Two quick questions or statements. Number one, whoever your tenant is, I'd like to make it a condition that they provide security cameras. I mean, it aids our police department in solving even crimes that's not involved with your tenant. You know, a car going by or a person walking by really aids us. And as far as the closing time at 1 p.m., I don't think that's acceptable.
Our ordinance is 5 a.m. to midnight, so we'd have to give them variance for that.
Okay, so if we cut it back to midnight,
You make the
Would be
ordinance.
the
Will be all right?
last
Okay.
If I may?
Mr. Veneria, you got the
And because
security.
that 1 to 5 a.m. it's like the devil's time. That's when all the trouble happens, and the more we can close it, even Wawa wanted to stay open, and we made sure that they cannot be open, you know, those 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
And
No,
if I may, and just to be clear, 12 o'clock is doors closed. You
Yes.
don't come in at
Correct.
12 and wait 2 hours.
Right.
The
Doors
last wash will
closed.
be at 10 a.m.,
Last
10 p.m.
wash.
Last wash,
No?
at 10 p.m.
At 10.
That's just the way the laundromat works. The last wash is at 10, this way it gives them 2
Oh, 10.
hours to dry,
Yes, okay, yes,
so they'd be
okay,
out by
I got you.
midnight. But we'll make sure the tenant understands that.
Gotcha.
We're already looking at the security cameras, it's not a problem, we'll do that.
Okay.
Once the building is renovated, we'll put them up at the rear.
The other board members may have other questions, Greg?
Brian?
I just have one about that parking lot in the back. I don't know if you said anything about that. Is that going to be utilized now, or
Yeah, it's gonna be for employee parking.
will they park? Okay.
Yeah, we agreed that the suggestion by Mr. Harris
I
was a
don't
good
think
one.
they have that many employees in the
But we will,
no, in the laundromat, so if we can put some of the, customers back there, fine.
okay.
Are there any other questions? No, all right, I'm going to close this portion
It's past my bedtime.
and open it up to the board, the public. Mr. Sheldon, come on up, and please maintain confined to his testimony.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. Just want to start off by saying that I live just outside the 200-foot radius of this property. I'm actually 211.3 feet from the meets and bounds. So my parents bought the house in 1967, and while I did live in Hoboken for a period of time when I was at Stevens Institute as a faculty member and administrator, I've seen the history of this property evolve over the last 6 decades. So I'm well familiar with what was there prior to the current owner and what has gone on subsequently. I want to thank Mr. Graziano and Mr. Denaro for clarifying the operating hours. So the last wash is at 10 p.m. and that the building closes to the public as of midnight. As you're right behind on the western aspect, that's a completely residential area. So my neighbors would not appreciate having traffic going in and out of that complex all night long. So 10 PM is the last wash, building closes at 12. I'm going to share that information with my neighbors starting later this evening. Security cameras, again, Mr. Venero, thank you for, and Mr. Graziano, for your advocacy for the security cameras. I know from all these years that the AutoZone has been a particular problem with the garbage. People, every possible car fluid I've seen in that lot, people will change not only oil, but transmission and brake fluid. And I'm surprised that the DEP hasn't arrived and done some samples. And it might be an active contamination site at this point after all these years of all those car fluids being spilled randomly in the parking lot. With the cameras, I would hope that you would have the cameras in very conspicuous locations and also ask the AutoZone to post signs in English and Spanish saying that you're not permitted to change fluids in this lot under whatever penalties, $500 fines if you're caught dumping any fluids in this parking lot. That might be one way to finally deter all of that undesired activity from the AutoZone patrons.
I think they do have signs inside the store saying
Except
that.
that also maybe outside is even more important. Maybe with some spotlights and bells and whistles so they can really force the issue. With the, by the way, when the Quick Check disappeared, we were so grateful. And I'm glad that it's a testimony. But I mean, the garbage spillage from the Quick Check into our neighborhood was horrific. Every day, lawns, everywhere you look, there were Quick Check wrappers. Plus the Quick Check was, I think, open 24/7. So you had people wandering in, not only to the store, but then parking on our streets, doing whatever, God knows what. I won't go into that detail here, but all night long. So I'm so relieved, so are my neighbors, that Quick Check is long gone, and we now have that healthcare facility on the corner.
Right, questions?
Right. Trees and landscaping, Mr. Banda was particularly focused on this. I agree with Mr. Banda that...
It's only questions.
Well, there were trees there previously, and I'm glad to hear that you're not going to try to put trees back, because those trees were never successful. There were small trees. You said that they were tall and they were lucky. I never saw those trees amount to anything. They always seemed to be either diseased or knocked over.
A lot of trouble with the
Right.
trees.
You could never really get them to grow because of just all of the traffic.
One of the neighbors behind this section, right over here, I don't know which one it is. I've helped him many times now. The trees were growing over his property and he had a collector car and the trees were...
You're talking in the back. I'm talking about in the front, this piece of greenery that everyone has been focused upon.
Oh, the trees,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
but
had
we
some
had them
small
back
trees.
here too.
Right.
And we had nothing but trouble with the
Right.
trees.
I can understand that, but the trees I'm referring to were the ones flanking Washington Avenue. Those trees never amounted to anything. You could never really get them to grow.
No.
They would usually succumb to accidents with plows or people, whatever, kids just kicking the trees down. So, but
Questions,
Questions.
please.
All right.
Only questions.
All right.
You can give testimony a little later.
all right.
We have
Well, I
a
guess
lot of
that-
witnesses here.
I guess that'll be...
Only questions.
All right, all right, I'll speak later on about, concurring with Mr. Banda, about the nature of the streetscaping that should be put in there for everyone's benefit. So that's testimony, I'll save that for later. Let me just make sure that, okay, that's, oh, you said that the CVS's lease expires at the end of this month. The store has largely been completely dark, as we saw in Alvarado and others have said. It would be helpful if somehow you could just turn on a few lights to give it the appearance that there's some usage. My concern has always been that because it was a CVS with a pharmacy, I hope you haven't had regular break-ins there. I would just imagine that, with people, with the store being abandoned and their pharmacy there, that
No, there's a very sophisticated alarm system in there.
you've been able to...
Yeah, when we go in and show the space to a prospective tenant, the police end up showing up within 5 minutes. So,
I'm glad you
yes,
have
it's well
a good
protected.
burglar system
Yeah.
because, again, the
And
concerns...
there are lights on now, right
Right.
now, on the parking lot,
Mhm.
on the whole length of the building,
Right.
from here to here.
Right.
So we have the lights, not in the interior. Nobody's going to put lights in the interior of a vacant building.
I'm glad you've been able to deter any criminal activity.
We haven't had it.
Curious to see what may have been left in the pharmacy section.
Okay.
There's nothing left.
Thank you.
It's all kind of tied in together.
I know, but it's just questions for him. I know you're gonna have more later on,
All
so.
right, I'll save the rest of the testimony.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the public? Mr. Hinton, come on up. State your name for the record.
Gary Hinton, 307 Fairway Avenue. These auto parts store, they have people dumping containers of oil in the back of the property there, in the back door to the building there. They have a tank inside that they take recycling to recycle the oil. They're not taking the oil, and the people are leaving it outside in the back. It makes a mess of all of it, not to mention the front and all the garbage that you use and make that, it's all over.
They do pick up the oil.
So, what I would suggest that security cameras is a big plus. You should fence off the back of the building so they can't go back there, because they go back there, they dump garbage, oil, everything.
It can't be because it's a fire lane.
That's a driveway, we can't fence that off.
It can't be fenced,
There's a driveway and it's part of the access that has to be
I'm
kept.
talking about the back of the building.
I'm talking
Right
about
here.
also,
There's a
yes,
driveway.
it's a driveway.
But that's where the big problem is, with them doing all that.
But
illegal
it can't be
dumping.
blocked off.
Put the lights back there, that should help a lot.
And another thing, this here, lease that you have with these, that they maintain the buildings themselves, all right?
100%.
What if they don't?
If they don't, I can enforce the lease and make them do it.
Did you go to CBS with the roof leak?
Not during, I explained why, not during,
I guess
not
curious,
during the
because-
health crisis, because it was coincidental with a lease renewal for 5 more years. And I didn't want to play hardball, I wanted to let them get through that. They invested $300,000 to spiff up the store, put a new roof on, cleaned up everything, got rid of all of the health violations, new carpeting, new column, everything was done. I had no clue they were going to cancel the lease after doing all of that work. They did. Yeah.
I just,
So, you know, as a landlord, you have to,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
on the property and I see they
No,
don't.
they're
care,
50% of my
they
center.
pop it
this is a big deal, losing that.
up.
Very
Okay,
big.
so fence wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you. Any other questions? I'm going to close this portion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to call Michael Hutchman, please.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear to
Yes.
tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
State your name, spell your last name, please.
Yes, Michael Hubschman, I'm a licensed professional engineer and planner. My office address is 263 South Washington Avenue, Berryfield, and it's HUBSCHMAN. And I was talking to Tom before, he was one of my college professors at NJIT.
So therefore, I move to qualify Mr. Hutchman as an expert in field
We
engineering.
absolutely will accept his credentials.
Thank you.
He remembered me.
Well, were you misbehaved? Okay. Did you prepare the engineering plan for the proposed project?
Yes, we did. There's not, it's a 1.5 acre site, and I think they went over it pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not going to redo everything that we already went through. We're going to do the sidewalk where we said and the
Right.
landscaping. I just want to confirm some things.
Sure.
We're not changing the drainage in any way, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, and we're not expanding this building in any way?
We're not. Yes.
Okay, and so the impervious coverage is remaining the same?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty, and the entrances in and out, nothing along those lines are being changed, correct?
It's all remaining, yes.
Okay, we already agreed to comply with the sidewalk repairs. There was one other thing on Mr. Harrod's report, a manhole. Mr. Harrod's, can you confirm, is that the manhole that's in the driveway between the auto zone?
Yes.
Right here?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll repair that.
Okay, so that we walked around trying to figure out which one it was, but now we have confirmation. Okay. The lights on the building are going to be described by the architect, and I think that would be it. I don't know whether the board has any engineering questions.
Does the board have any other questions for this witness? Having none, we can open up to the public. Do you have any engineering questions?
Well, engineering and architecture, or
Different. Architect is coming up with more details.
architect, I'll wait for the architect.
Okay, so I'm going to close this portion. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Call your next witness.
Okay, I'd like to call my architect, Art Michaels. He's also a licensed planner, so if I could double qualify at the same time to move this along.
Well, he can kind of at least stay for the record.
Okay.
A little.
Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
Please say your name and address.
Arthur Michaels, 645 Westwood Avenue, Riverville, New Jersey, Michaels and Baldwin Associates.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Michaels, you are a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey?
I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey, licensed professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I have a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Architecture from the Kent State School of Architecture and Environmental Design.
We'll accept it.
Okay,
And
thank you.
geez, I have a whole bunch of other qualifications I need to share.
Ah,
Thank you.
you keep reading.
Okay, would you, you did such a lovely job of showing us, I think the most impressive thing is the interior of this proposed laundromat, so I'm going to start from the inside, more to the outside if we could. So this is the proposed interior of this very high-tech, modern.
Actually, what this is, I'll expand on this. This is actually one of, we've been doing work for Mr. Weinstein for probably 30 years, as well as Mr. Rosenbloom, sorry. And this happens to be, we didn't do this one, but.
Excuse me, can you zoom in, Mr. President, can you zoom in on these plans so that all of us can easily see them?
Wait, you're right, you did this.
Oh, his camera's.
Yeah, wait a minute, here,
Okay,
you leave it there,
It's beautiful.
and then I'll zoom in on it.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
So this is one of Mr. Weinstein's other facilities in Elizabeth, actually. And we're going to be doing very similar detailing on the interior as this one. And you'll see, to the point where we have the ceiling treatments, it's actually dotted on the plans that we gave you and so on. And I think the point of this is that it's not maybe what you've normally come to expect out of a laundromat. It's very bright, it's very clean, hard surfaces, stainless steel equipment. He goes and puts all kinds of crazy graphics on the wall. There's very interesting lighting. There's LED lighting versus down lighting, as well as colored up lighting. There are TVs all around. There's drop and fold counters. There's seating for people to be in. It's a very upscale facility, and I can tell you from Mr. Weinstein's other facilities, these pictures were just taken on a random day that I walked in there, and they're very clean and well maintained, as well as he does the same on the
Well, I think the
exteriors.
coolest thing about this is they're saving water. Could you describe for the board the way that the system works?
Sure, I know the town has some sustainability requirements, but what Mr. Weinstein does in his properties, he has a well go and put in, adjacent to it, and it supplements and takes care of most of the water for the washing, so that you're not actually drawing off of the city water for the washing. He's supplementing it. So as far as sustainability things that are happening in this building, there's a very, the washing equipment is all the most modern and up-to-date equipment, so it's low draw on water. He supplements that water through a well system, so it's supplementing city water on that. There's new HVAC equipment, so that's much more energy efficient, and it also adds to indoor air quality. All the lighting is LED lighting, and then all the finishes are these very durable finishes that are long-lasting, that are, once again, very sustainable, and it's an adaptive reuse of an existing building.
Okay, now let's go to the outside.
Sure. So, the outside, I just like to, did we want to mark this as an exhibit
Before we mark that, I do need to mark another.
Oh, the pictures we handed up.
Yes, I want to mark for the record, pictures from Michael J. Hubschman Engineering. It's pictures P1 through P7, and they will be marked as Exhibit A2.
What are markers?
This would be A3. The ones we were just talking about are A3.
No, he's talking about these.
That's A2,
Right.
and this is going to be A3, correct?
Yes.
A3.
Okay, now,
Actually, I think I want to talk about this, then,
all right,
What are we doing here? Okay, you're showing the board the old CVS. All right.
These two.
Okay, so the exhibit, and I'll put it up here so everyone can see. Apparently I just screwed up the screen, but now tilting it. I went on to Google, and I pulled up a picture of the building while CVS was still operating in it. And I did that for a couple reasons. It was a good shot of the building, and second, for a discussion we're going to have in a few minutes, I wanted to show the size of the signs that were on that building when it was existing and is operating. So what we're doing, the laundromat is going to be going in the back portion that you see in the screen on the left side of the building, where you see right now there are solid walls, that there's just sort of a column arcade, and it's sort of a flat roof, and it's a little lower. Okay? Back in this area, right in here. Can I mark this as A4 before I jump on to the next sheet?
yeah, that's what we're up to, the next one.
Our proposed design, okay, takes the back portion of that building and picks up the detailing of the front portion of the building. It introduces storefront on that side that looks out into the parking lot. It raises up the height of the building in the center to mimic the height on the front in the corner. And it brings some canopies down there as well. And you can see the windows are treated in the same manner where they have the detailing in on the windows. You know, and what we believe that this is doing is it's really getting a more finished look to the entire building, wrapping it all the way around, so as you're coming down the street, you know, you're seeing a complete picture. And we're using the raised parapets and the canopies to break up the massing of the building, to enhance the aesthetics of the building, but also to identify the areas that the entries would occur. You know, and so and it's all the same finishes going around, and it looked like a new building, and it looked like a complete building wrapping around. Then we're showing signage up on top of the laundromat, and we're showing signage on the front of the building on Washington Avenue, and a sign on the side above the entry for the tenant. The thing that we sort of wanted to talk about and get some feedback from the board is that your ordinance has a restriction for internally illuminated signs of I believe it is
16 inches.
16
high
inches for internally illuminated signs. What's shown on here with the laundromat portion, okay, is a 30-inch dimension on the S and the L, and basically a 24-inch dimension on the rest of the word, the wash and the remainder of the word laundromat. And we feel that graphically looks better in the building than, and I have an exhibit showing what a 14-inch or 16-inch highlighter looks like. We feel that graphically looks better. It's a better image to the building. But we also believe that when you look at the site, because this is the back of the building, It's perpendicular to Washington Avenue. You know, that there's more distance. It's a very unique circumstance, and the visibility is improper. So we feel that this is the right size. Just for the board's information, I did prepare an exhibit.
We have them to give out too.
What?
We have them to give out.
Yeah, I have them to give out. This one, gather them up. This one, the last thing I talked about was what was presented. Do we need to mark that? Or no? Okay. So the one that I just showed you was A1, dated 9/16/25. Okay, the architectural drawing. Now what I'm showing you
No, that's
is,
his sheet number.
This is what was submitted, yeah, wait, that was what was submitted.
that was what was submitted.
But we had.
No, A1 is his sheet number, not.
No, the architectural drawing A1,
Sorry.
not an exhibit, yes.
Sorry.
What we were up to, what were we up to, 4? Well, I'm going to mark this as,
Yeah.
Five, next number is five, A5.
This is A5?
Yes.
So I'm going to mark this as A5. Let's pitch a couple of these. Chris, you want to help us test those out? This one is noted as alternate number 1, and you can see there, that's what the sign looks like when it's only the 1'4" high letters. You know, and once again, we think that that's really, architecturally it doesn't look good in the building, you know, and then second, we think that from a safety point of view, public viewing point of view, to recognize where the store is, how to get to it, and so on. We think that that's not appropriate being so far off of Washington Avenue. So I think what we would request is that we would be able to get a variance, you know, under the C2 criteria of variances in New Jersey for the larger letters. You know, understanding we think that this is a better planning solution, and I can go through the proofs to show how it meets.
Okay, what we just handed up to the board is a compromise. What we had on the original plans was the 30-inch high larger letters with the 20-inch in the middle. What we've handed to the board is, if the board isn't willing to go up to 30 inches for that one, and that's why we started with the CVS sign, is 18 inches for the S and the L. I think that's the way it is. And then the other letters in between. You can see it in that exhibit we just handed up to you. Because in looking at all 16-inch letters across, it really gets lost, especially because this side of the building, really if you're driving, only if you're driving north on Washington Avenue do you really see that sign. If you're driving south, you're kind of blown by it anyway.
I do think that the 30 and the 24 is the right size.
How about 20 and 18? Somewhere in the middle.
I can show you 20 and 18.
It looks a little too
Well, no,
big.
I mean, I don't think the board needs to be burdened with a lot of paperwork, but we're trying to show you the difference. And so
No, I'm going to.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm going to agree that the 16 does look a little
Too
small
tiny.
on this site.
Yeah.
But I think the 30 looks just too big,
Okay.
especially when up on the street frontage
I can
side.
show that. That's
On the
So what is
plan
that?
four, A1.
Is that the 20 and
That's
18
2
option?
and 18. I can show that.
Below 18? I like that.
Okay,
Just to
we got a winner.
clarify for the record, what's been handed to the board is what's been marked as Exhibit A5.
No, actually,
That would be-
no,
that'd
this is
be
going to be
A6.
A6.
Okay.
So what's been handed to the board
Oh.
is Exhibit A6.
Is that,
This
oh, I don't know what.
A5 is the 16-inch high that has been already provided, 11 by
So this is
17.
A6.
A6 is going to be
Which one?
the one that we're in.
Correct.
And can we make that a standard for the whole strip mall, so if they ever replace it or replace any of the other ones, that just runs for the whole strip mall?
Yes.
Okay, I
Okay,
think
we're
that would be
getting
the
a
best to do.
basics.
How's that sound?
I think that sounds like a good idea. So the new tenant would have to come back here for a variance or to zoning board if that
So
would
we're
be the
talking
case.
about an accent letter of being 2 feet high, and then the field letter being 18, 20.
The highest letter would be 20,
Okay,
and then the base, the bulk of the word would be 18 inches.
And so, yeah, even if the AutoZone left too, or the sports med,
Right.
they would all still get that 20 and the 18, so we'll just make it across the board. Keep everything kind of unison,
To keep it for that being the standard for that strip mall.
yeah.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Quick planning testimony then on that. Would that, in terms of the C2, does that satisfy the C2 criteria?
yes, it does. As far as the C2 criteria, it's for a specific zone, a specific building. As we go and look at the positive criteria versus the negative criteria, I believe that we meet special requirements for enhancing the aesthetic view of the building, because it looks better. We also believe that there's a public benefit for safety and visibility, and as far as the negative criteria, I believe that there's not a substantial good detriment to the public good, and it's consistent with the intent in the zoning ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've gone through the inside, we've gone through the outside. The board may have some questions for you.
Anybody have questions? Yes, Joe?
You're adding another entrance then, on the side of the building?
We're adding, for the laundromat, we're adding an entrance to the side of the building, yes.
No, because before they said they would all be the same.
There's adding an entrance,
we're talking
and,
about the driveway entrance. I'm sorry.
just to be clear, on the site, we also, right in front of that entrance, in the site plan, you would probably have noticed that we adjusted the curb cut there and made handicap access right at that point, right in front of the entrance. So we made sure that we fulfilled the barrier-free requirements as we relocated the entrance.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Yes.
Were you gonna talk about were you gonna replace the lights on the building itself, these sconce lights? Or?
Yeah, the building lights, we'll have LED lights in the building, the sconce lights, accent points around the building.
Okay, what is the deal with this well you're talking about?
I mean,
We got plenty of water to sell.
Is it interior?
It's actually, I believe on the,
Because that was an old oil slick. So you gotta get DEP approvals for this, correct?
yes, the tenant is anticipating doing it. You'll notice on the site plan, they have, back in the back of the lot, he's got the little cover thing that says proposed well. He's had the well digger come out and look at it already. And so it's sort of a well that's going in there. It's not going to be coming up and replacing the drinking water, the potable water, that. It's going to be simply used for supplementing the washers.
So they gotta go through DEP for this?
I believe that they're, yes.
Okay.
That's it. No other questions? I'll close this portion and I'll open up to the public. Questions for? Thank you, Mr. Sheldon.
Good evening again, everyone. Michael Sheldon, 47 Flood Street. Just to continue what Mr. Harris was asking, first of all, I appreciate the sustainability
Yes.
goals that you have planned for this. This well situation really has me intrigued. You would be filling the well during the course of the day with water provided by the township, I assume?
No, you drill the wall down, whatever it takes, 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet, 250 feet.
Right.
There's a pump that's at the bottom of the well that's tied into it. There'd be tanks within the building in a water meter room, and that, as there would be demand for it, you would pump water out of the aquifer up into the tank, and you'd use that to supplement, the wash machines.
Do you have any idea idea at this point how far down you're going to have to drill to reach the?
I don't know specifically how far they have to drill. No.
Do you know of any other businesses in Belleville that are doing a similar thing?
Not specifically, but I know that the other laundromat that I showed you here, the pictures of in Elizabeth, they have done the same thing, and I've gone and reviewed the operation there, and it seems to function very well.
Well, that's Elizabeth, it's in different geography here, so you don't know what you might encounter.
I think that that's their intention. I guess once you start drilling it and they do their investigation, if there's a problem, they'll, you know.
Does this mean that before you start any construction here, that you're going to have to do bore samples, that you're going to have to do some tentative drillings to determine if you can bring about this well?
I think they would probably go and drill it, you know, once they get a permit to drill it. And then once they drill it, they'll go and determine that they're pulling enough water out of it. They're testing the water, that it's the quality that they need. And then that would determine that they're using it and to what extent they use it.
So you would have to do the drillings before you would get approval for construction?
No, that's it. You know, the building, the laundromat is set up so it could run completely on city water without it. So it's a supplemental system. So it's supplementing the system in the building, the permit process would run concurrently, but if for some reason the permit process got tied up with the well, the permit process could continue with the laundromat and the construction to go forward.
Let's assume that you do the drilling and you determine for whatever reason that you're not able to reach an aquifer. There's problems that just make it cost prohibitive.
Then
do you have to come back before the board to submit new plans, or you just drop that? You just drop that?
I think the only thing I would question is what size, if you're using city water, what size service would you need to service all those washing machines? Because it might only be a 1-inch service into that building, because all they have is some bathrooms and.
I think that as we do the actual construction drawing, the actual engineering construction drawings for the interior of the laundromat have not been done. As the engineer does MEP engineer does the calculation for that, if that's necessary, then we would go and increase the water service to the building.
I think you could,
I
would imagine.
I would imagine we're going to be going there, yes.
Okay, so your sidewalk in front of the building is going to get ripped up anyway to add service to a new service to your building.
So make sure we don't do the sidewalk until we make sure we
Exactly.
know what the piping's going to be.
The DPW will do the water taps for
Yes.
The pipes are going down that side.
Make sure everyone can hear you.
Tenant of a shopping center, as I said, he does everything state of the art. Very few laundromats have the kind of technical capabilities that he's putting here. If the well doesn't produce enough water, he has to use more city water. That costs more. So he's bringing his costs down as low as possible. That well will not even be visible. It'll be covered. There may be a manhole cover on it, and it feeds inside the building. So it doesn't affect the neighborhood at all. If he's able to get enough water out of it, good. He offsets the cost of buying water for all these washing machines. If he has to use more city water, it costs. And he's not using public service gas either. He has an electric. He has his own contract with a separate provider. I don't know how he does it, but he's done enough of these. He's the best. And I can
Never
tell
done
you
one in
this,
town too that uses well water,
he's spending
not laundromat.
$3 million on this laundromat. Nobody does that. It's going to be fabulous.
I will just continue, I understand that you were putting in a separate entrance for the laundromat, which was one of my questions. I wanted to make sure there were different entrances. I'm just a little bit confused about the second use that would make become a restaurant or some sort of eatery along Washington Avenue.
It's not part of this application.
Well, there's going to be a second.
It'll be a permitted use.
Right, that's fine, but I think it was the eastern drawing. It looked like you were going to create a second entrance to the second proposed use.
So
or there's going to be another?
In regard to that, okay, there's the existing, I'm going back to the plan that was submitted to the board. It's the architectural plan A1. You know, so there's, this space is approximately a 2,500 square foot space. It's got an existing entrance in the corner, okay? So what happens is that depending on what the use is, you know, and we have the laundromat in the back, that space then exceeds the requirements that you can have for legally having one means of egress out of the space. So what we have done is that we've added a second entrance down on the end of Washington Avenue, all the way down on the end of the street. So it's very remote, and so that we've satisfied the building code requirements for exits, and we want to make sure that they're remote in case there's a fire or a problem at the entrance. It's at the exact opposite of the building and end of the building. And there's really no other place to put it because the other wall is a lot line wall. So that's what that second entrance is for.
I assume that the reason for the second entrance is because you have two means
To egress from the space.
Do you also have two means of egress and ingress for the laundromat?
Yeah, we have one, and the second means of egress goes into the back parking lot on the whatever that is, west side.
All right, okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I understood what you were doing
Yep.
with the doors and entrances, exits. So the last thing I wanted to ask, I'm glad that everyone was able to reach a compromise in the lettering size. It's now 20 inches for the first letter and 18 for the 18 inches for the subsequent letters in a given word. Those are going to be illuminated.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to ask, overnight, when the building, the laundromat is closed, will you be dimming those lights or turning them off altogether, or are they going to be burning at the same maximum intensity all night long?
They would have to,
Turn them off.
yeah.
Well, whatever the ordinance says, we'll follow. If you have an ordinance that requires us to turn them off, we'll turn them off. I don't know what the
I
ordinance
have not
requires.
discussed that with the owner. I mean, I just,
Are
I
you
think
aware
the
of
fact that we
ordinance
shrunk them
require
too, like they're not
signage to?
And it's interior, it's not showing off on.
Talking about the exterior signs, we were
Yeah,
advertising.
no, I understand that. The exterior sign will follow whatever the ordinance requires. If we're allowed to have them on all night and the tenant wants to pay for the electricity for that, then that's what he'll do. If they're supposed to go off 1 hour after closing or whatever the requirement is, we'll follow it.
I just vaguely remember other applications for other businesses that there were some conditions that the signage had to be dimmed somewhat overnight when the building was no longer being used by the public.
I think it was because it was out.
Well,
I think what's unique here, it's going into our own parking lot, it's separated from adjoining properties. I think that this, you know, this, if it's on or not, it's not going to be creating a nuisance for another property. So I think that this is probably pretty good either way.
I understand that the laundromat signage is
Yes.
facing the parking lot, and
Yeah.
actually facing the AutoZone building, but even though it doesn't directly affect me, because I'm far enough away, if the laundromat sign is bright enough, it could adversely affect the immediate neighbors to the west.
Not
They may,
really, because you still have another building wing.
there are at least a couple houses between the parking lot, between the AutoZone and the laundromat. There are homes, there's 2, maybe 3 homes that are at the end of that alleyway who may not appreciate that there's now a blinding light because this is elevated
Well,
and it's
it's
going to
not
be over.
protruding out, it's not, the light isn't going anywhere, it's staying right there. It's not like it's.
Are they able to focus the light so that it only points
There's
into the light? Or is
channels,
this
the
designed?
light lights up, that's all, it doesn't go anywhere.
My architect can tell the distance from the end of this light to the property behind is over 80 feet, isn't that right, Mr. Michael?
Yes, it's over 80 feet away.
I will follow the ordinance in terms of foot candle, brightness. That's all we can say. We're not violating anything at this point.
My
We're
concern is
agreeing
that
to.
the lighting is designed so that people who are on Washington Avenue traveling north, they see that signage. So if people on Washington Avenue, cars passing, going northbound on Washington Avenue, you can see the sign. What about the homes that are to the immediate west, they're gonna have, they're gonna have that same intensity.
These aren't very, they're not that very, they're not bright, they're not shining in any way,
Is
or
there
anything like that.
is there any way you can focus the
No,
light so
not
that
really.
it points mostly
That's
into
not how,
the
no,
lot?
that's not how channel letters
All right,
work.
You have to think, Mr. Shelton, before that, they had the CVS, and those, the sign was a lot bigger than the signs we
That
actually
was in
see.
the.
No, it was on the
It's on the
side
side
too.
too. It's on the side also. It's also on the side.
This is what I think very different than what,
It was bigger and on the side.
you're talking, well, now you're going to have your signage here, not here. You're moving it
It's our
closer to the-
position that this sign will not affect the neighbors, and we will follow the ordinance, and that is all, that is what we will compromise
We'll see-
to,
we'll see
nothing
if that
more.
happens. I guess if the homeowners in that immediate area are adversely affected, then, you know, the parent, then possibly.
My experience with this operator, he's a good neighbor. If he, I can't speak for him, and he's not here, but my experience is that he doesn't want to be a problem for anyone. He wants to be accommodated.
The new fencing that has just been recently erected, is that 6 feet high around the back perimeter?
It's taller than me, so yes.
It's 6 feet high, all right. All right, well, hopefully that's going to be high enough to shield those homes from all the activity, including the light pollution from this project.
Should.
All right, thank you.
All right, are there any other questions? I'm going to close this portion, and we're going to take a
I just
5-minute
have-
recess.
I just have one, and I just want to put it on the record. The pylon sign, we're gonna clean that up too, but we're gonna add another slot to that, correct? I just want to make sure it's on the record so that everybody knows that there's another sign going there as well.
We want a slot for each tenant, so yes.
Okay, all right?
We're taking a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
Call the meeting back to order, and summarization.
Thank you. We have no further witnesses. We're here just for preliminary final site plan. We are, as per the conditions, going to do some partial streetscaping with the sidewalk. We will be replacing the landscaping, fixing the sidewalk, restriping it. This is a project that's going to enhance the town in this development here. At this point, we also are requesting a variance for that increase in the letter size on the sign. And at this point, I think we've established that we've met all of the other criteria under your ordinance, and we would respectfully request that the board grant our application. Thank you.
Does the board have any questions?
Security cameras too, right? That was-
Yes, we have, I just want to run
Yeah.
through some of the conditions.
Yes.
It's the garbage bins,
Yes.
restriping and repaving. Streetscape is up to the lamppost and repairing whatever else is needed on the rest of the street. The hours of operation is up to 12 p.m. as the final,
I think that's AM.
yes,
I get that confused too. Well, midnight.
midnight,
I think
yes.
that's easier.
We'll do
Not as
midnight.
confusing.
We have, last wash is going to be at 10, 12 o'clock closing, midnight. Security cameras,
The tenants will be required to put security cameras on their buildings.
okay. The manhole repair,
And we'll
Right.
take
it's
care
going to
of
be
it.
done.
That's right. Yes, with the security cameras, but they also work with the police, they provide to the police.
Okay, and the variance is for 20 by 18 letters.
Correct.
And the extra pylon slots.
Oh,
That needs a variance, or that's just a...
I just want it on the record, so yes,
As a
and there's that right
condition,
here.
there'll be 5 slots on the pylon sign for the 5 different tenants.
Very good.
I have the well requires DEP approval, if they allow them to do that. And usually you put the cover all my letter and the zoning officer's letter.
Yes, that goes standard into
Yes.
all of my things. Michelle, I'm gonna need a transcript for this one because I wasn't here for most of it. And otherwise, I'll just make it up, but I know Michael called me out.
I'll process the video tonight and send it.
Oh, that's true, yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay,
That's
and that would be it. Okay, so those are the conditions.
So-
One,
No, that's okay. So you need a motion subject to the conditions. Oh, you haven't done that yet, okay.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll open this up to the public now. If you have any summations that you would like, Mr. Grant Antoni.
Mr. President, Tony, 129 Mount Prospect, Belleville.
Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do. I have no problems, I like this, I'm glad somebody come in with something like this, especially if it's spending $3 million. The problem I have is not with the applicant, it's with our town. I've been, last May, been here 60 years, Vice President, Chamber of Commerce. I was originally manager of the chain store on Washington Avenue. I then bought property, and you know I managed a laundromat for 50 years, but 2 years ago. The problem we have the poor applicants, they come in this town, they talk about all this landscaping and all. Over 60 years, we've had all kinds of planning boards and council members, commission members, want their own design of Washington Avenue. We've got a hodgepodge. We've got, Tom Harris was involved with it, what's out front, these 2 blocks with the concrete, with the big private designs, that was passed, that was going to be the entitlement to Washington Avenue. They did this block, they were going to do the next block where my building was. A car ran through my storefront, I rebuilt a new storefront. And then I had 2 courses of concrete block. I bought the ceramic tile. My tile man says, no sense putting the tile in now, wait till they get the final grade of the thing there. Well, I sold it 2 years ago, and the tiles are still down the basement there, because nothing ever happened. Then the Dollar Tree opens up, and you got a different requirement for the sidewalks down there. They're all different, with just scoring some lines and all there. Then we had another council comes in, and we're gonna have a new design for Washington Avenue, like across the street, those 2 blocks over there. Every building now has to have a mansard roof, so it'll be a nice design. I see you all look at it, you know what it looks like. But then another developer comes, and so we have no consistency. And now again, we're talking about the landscaping here. One time, one council wanted all cherry blossom trees in Washington Avenue. Well, they were no good. People were slipping on the pink petals and all that. We have no consistency, you know? And then an applicant like this, and you gotta run through an hour of him talking about the landscape on there. First of all, too much landscaping and trees are not good for retail, because you can't see the sign, you can't see the merchandise in the window, you know? So, please, I like this design, I hope you approve and all that, but get it together, folks. Mr. Bandy, you're not a town manager. We need some kind of consistency. You know, we got a hodgepodge all over the place over here. And it's not the applicant's fault. It's your fault. Other towns have a design. You know, it was in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona years ago. For 100 years, they got that Western motif, and it looks nice, and anybody has to comply with that. But every 10 years, we got to do it, so what we have a bunch of idiotic things. So let's wake up and stop harassing these people that want to invest their money, especially big money like this in this town. Wake up, folks.
All right, are there any others? Mr. Sheldon?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. I too am okay with this project. I have no serious complaints or reservations, but early in the evening when you were focused upon landscaping, in particular the little grassy strip that runs parallel to Washington Avenue, Mr. Banda mentioned, and I like what he said at the time, in addition to some shrubs, or even as a replacement for the shrubs, is to have a small height little decorative wall running along it. That would keep pedestrian traffic from spilling into the parking lot. It would also keep any accidents from the parking lot spilling onto the sidewalk. So knowing the history of this property, how difficult it's been to have any vegetation growing in that little grassy strip, I would like to see a small brick, iron, whatever, decorative wall. For consistency purposes, the design standards, I think Mr. Bandy even mentioned how that would emulate the type of wall, Mr. Harret's, the type of wall that you have at the new cannabis center. So there would be a continuation of some consistency of the design standard across that section of Washington Avenue. Even with a little decorative wall to honor Mr. Rosenblum, you could put, he could put a sign on the Rosenblum Plaza or whatever. But I think rather than shrubs, trying to get greenery to grow there, a little decorative wall, what might be exactly what that area needs.
As you know, it was discussed, so.
Right. The other, two last things, the AutoZone, which was discussed ad nauseum tonight, I wanted to ask Mr. Band in particular, a store like the AutoZone would no longer be allowed. It was coming before the township. Is a store like the AutoZone now a non-permitted use in the BG zone?
I'd have to look at it. It's still a retail store. I guess it is auto parts. So I'm iffy, but it's there now, and if another one were to come after it, it gets to stay, so.
I'm hoping with all of the improvements made in this area that at some point soon the AutoZone finds a different location, because this is really not the right type, but I'm digressing, I know that's not the subject of tonight, but the AutoZone needs to be the next replacement for this little plaza. The last thing I wanted to say here, actually a regarding question I forgot to ask earlier tonight. I'm sure you're all aware that the parking lot for this plaza has two driveways. There's the main one on Washington Avenue, but there's a secondary on Little Street. The Little Street is an entrance only. And so just to confirm my fears, or allay my fears, that's going to remain entrance only, right? There's going to be no change to the traffic flow on Little Street, right? It's entrance only.
Correct.
Right? Doesn't mean people don't pull out, and it happens all the time, but just to mitigate any accidents, that remains entrance only. All right, I thank you for your time tonight, and I hope you guys approve this. It's going to be an improvement for Belleville, and especially my little neck of the woods. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? No more? I'm going to close this portion. Next, I will look for a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Subject to the conditions that were previously discussed, correct?
Correct.
Councilwoman Alvarado.
Yes.
Mr. Venero.
Yes.
Mr. Vanda.
Yes.
Mr. Graziano.
Yes.
Mr. Kenny.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Mr. Pangaris.
Yes.
Okay, approved, all in favor.
Okay. I'll ask for an adjournment. Our next meeting is Thursday, February 12th. Can we get adjournment? Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.